Hello everyone, greetings fellow Annoholics, welcome back to, well, our mega city, and I've changed a few things. New mods have been released for this beautiful game and we are going to use them in this episode right away, aside a few other things. The first one is something that is quite visible, I think, right from start, is that with a new street mod we can now finally also add darker, darker textures to the docklands. So in this case here, it's not as stark anymore, the contrast, as it was before, so it does look a bit better now, at least in my opinion, and I do like this far more than the vanilla version that we have, and with that I can definitely live. Look at that, there's almost no difference when it's close up, and when we get a bit further away, then of course we see the differences, but it's not like white and grayish anymore like it was before, so much better in my opinion. That is only one of the few things that we have changed now. The other one is that we do have a new town hall monument or town hall building available that I would like to use as well, right here in the center, and that's this fellow there, is still the normal one. And what I don't like that much about these buildings is that they do look a bit out of place really in a skyscraper area, right? Like this one here, it's just, it doesn't look like it fits in there. It's too small for all the massive surrounding buildings there. And we can change this now. There's a new variation to that, so let's go ahead and just add this building now right to this block here, and there it is in all its glory. We do have some different color variations for this new building there, and well, basically it's two, I think, and this one there, and we can now finally have the town hall right here in the center that we want. So this is applying to the older to the basic version of the town hall, right? And it's just much better, I think, overall, because it just fits in. It's actually looking like a mall or anything like that is right here in the center. But other than that, yeah, definitely the better version out of that I would like to have in my city. We can actually implement this throughout the city now to all the other town halls that we have. It's just, I mean, it's a tiny detail, but I think details matter when you build a city. And in that case here, we can use this town hall now to all the other ones. First of all, of course, I need to find them. There's the other one. In that case, let's use this roof here. Really cool that it also adds like this little cornerstone there, right? And also here we have some benches and stuff like that, and even street posts and street lamps. It's just really nicely detailed there overall for a modded building. That as well, you can find the link in the description if you're interested into that mod. We could also just add a whole new town hall, that is the City Hall Tower, which is another skyscraper really that we have in the center. We have two options here. One is a smaller version and one is the bigger version that I like a lot. So we are just replacing this one with the already existing town hall that was on top of that. It's actually quite expensive, but of course it's a skyscraper after all. And then we just once again need to assign the proper buildings to that we already had here activated. So basically the maintenance cost reductions that we still have, and also the needs fulfillment for the billiard tables there on top of that. Really cool building there. We just have it right next to the police station skyscraper that of course is a bit more majestic overall. It's much bigger, but then again, this is a police station and this is only a town hall, right? The town hall in this place here is actually fitting quite nicely into the bus station and kiosk area that we have there for our tourists, so no problem that I can see there, and it's just really melting together there perfectly with the remaining buildings. I'm also just glad that the gold is coming in and we do have enough jewelry again in store, so 500 tons when it was already at zero. So that's the change here for the gold ore, and that also leads to a far more stable balance that we should have from now on, as no other product, at least I think, is going down. Next up on my list is this area up here that we've upgraded with the amusement park, right? So, oh, and the amusement park, by the way, is really heavily visited there, so should be nice income, at least theoretical, because we're not actually getting any income there into an amusement park. These people here that we've upgraded are artisans right now. Here we have engineers and investors mostly, and though they don't have any electricity yet, and this is about to change. We do have a pub in here. I mean, we still have those workers there that I might just upgrade now, and also these farmers here, and I know my farmer population is probably not the most stable one. Same goes with my workers, and let's just have them there. And I think actually this one we get rid and just move the artisan over there, because this area I would probably like to keep available there. And here these people there. Let's also remove these 2 workers there and just move my artisans from up there that are a bit too close to the cliff for my taste. And we can just move them over there and probably also assign the right roofs then to it once more. Now this area is available right now, and I would like to add my power plant to this one now. We have the pub, and I think as far as I can see, it doesn't serve a purpose anymore, since the artisans don't really need a pub, right? They only want beer. That's the most important good. And there's also no workers here anymore, and into this area there is some workers, but they have their own pub, so we can get rid of that. Off you go. And instead, I would like then to have my power plant in this area here, because we can also not only take this district into its area, but also this district up there, most of these buildings. It's the last power plant that is here, and with that we can then finally also finish the electrical or the oil consumption, right? We can plan ahead with that. This one I would like to change a bit. I would like to move these buildings down there and merge with the other block, right? So this is one big block that we have there. And then we have the power plant as the finishing touch to my train network that we have there. Let's go ahead and build us the power station right away. And then we can just really take the train going up here, and here they're merging together with my main track system. And then we just need the crossing there once more. And we should be having now this juicy electricity for all of these people, at least as soon as the train is coming in. This area here is still available now. We probably should... it's a tricky one. But I already know what I want to do here. That is our public trains transportation system that we haven't had yet in this game. And I've actually used it quite extensively in my last playthrough, my last Megacity playthrough. And this time I want to use it again. It has been changed a bit, and also the central station I think is now easier to build overall. But let's just go ahead, and for that I would like to first of all end this area here with a bang. And that is not a central station, but rather a small station, right? So just for your information how it works, basically we have the small station and the central station, and the central stations are producing or consuming letters and public travelers, and they are going to the central station vice versa. It adds a bit of our income if we do it this way, and it adds passengers that are well traveling on the tracks, which is really cool. For that, however, I do need a bit of space. As we can see, we don't have a lot of space here. Moving it by 1 point is probably the solution to that. So I do, first of all, let's get rid of some of my engineers here, because unfortunately I need to move the power plant with that a bit, but it's going to be worth it in the end. Let's move it over there. It already is producing some electricity already, by the way. So these people should be totally happy. Perfect. Actually, she's unhappy. Because she's missing a bank. Oh, we might actually provide that. Let's have our tracks here. Here we can actually get rid of them once more. Right, not longer needed. And by the way, I could move buildings over there if I want to, or actually get... or let's have a little park there or whatnot. And now we should be able to, if I move this a bit further down, we could then implement perfect this small station into this area. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. The small station, which is kind of like the end of our track system, and this one is merging then together with the major tracks, right? There we kind of like have a big crossing or a big roundabout, and then we have our small station here. Yes, it's not producing really. The small station has the travelers in store, and it needs the travelers from the central station. So as long as we're not building the central station, this building here will not work. And there's also not going to be any passenger trains for now, at least until I've built it. It's just really blending in perfectly here, and it's a perfect ending to my major system that we have there coming in here. Perfect, really. And here, before we end this area, let's just go ahead and have some... I always like to have some elm trees right next to my power plant, and then we might also have a fountain here in the center. Perfect, and that is surrounded probably by... they have a different color. We could have just some flower beds here. I really do like my flower beds there, especially when paired with some fountains there. Sometimes it looks pretty good. There we have the central station, the small station. And now we need to think about a network where we want to have these small stations. Problem is, we are going to need to destroy some buildings, unfortunately, for that. but that is unavoidable. And then, of course, we also need the central station. Alright, here we could have another station because it's right next to the hotel and also right central there, I guess. For this one though, however, what we probably will need to do is, first of all, I need to get rid of the ornaments. And now becomes the now we go to the tricky part here, because these stations here unfortunately only have one track system. Now, if I get rid of that, I hope that I'm not disrupting my train network that is using both tracks so far. That might be a bit of a bummer there. Let's just go ahead and place the station here, and then these tracks here will need to merge just over there, and here they split up again, right? So it should theoretically work, because the train that is passing through here goes up, goes through the station, and on the other side back again. I hope they're not blocking each other this way. But we'll see that pretty soon, I guess. Let's just also build some cherry trees on those sides. I think this is just looking fine. And that's it, really. There we have the next small station. Still not working because obvious reasons. We need the central station. Do we see some trains now? I think all the trains now disappeared because we deleted the tracks there for a second. These trains are here because they're using another, you know, lane. And there was still a dirt road. Ah, there it goes. Perfect. It does go to this track now again. Perfect. So that's something. And now if there's only another track... Ah, there is another train here. Perfect. So there's several trains now on this track still. This should be fine as far as I can see. That's another station that we can then implement here. And then we continue, of course. We could have another station now over here in this area that doesn't have a crossing for some reasons that I might still need to implement. So let's go ahead and just get rid of these guys here once more, and then also off the tracks. And then we can have our small station there once more. Oh, and I think there's still something here that's bothering it. There you go. Let's have it... Very strange. I can only place it on those sides there. Let's build it here. Then I will need to get rid of that though. There's the entrance, and there is the split again. Right, so they're splitting up, and then we still need some crossing there as well. And once more, I can then also add some trees to it. Let's use the pink ones this time. I don't like the paving of these when it's together with the streets. That's not looking so great overall. Let's just have it here, and here we probably just continue with the normal trees then. That's better. Okay, the flow of the trains is still remaining perfectly fine, so they're using their tracks or not. Nothing bad has happened there, and we can happily continue with these smaller stations that we have. Probably here as well, which just makes sense because we got the docklands here, the industrial zone, and there's also, I think... Yeah, industrial zone and docklands, really. I mean, that's an explanation, right? We can use it here, and we probably should. It also adds a nice layer, and we probably will just have... we're probably just using the whole bunch here because it's a nice beautiful new building that just pops up here as well. Of course, the crossings will need to be made. There we have then this, and then we have the normal crossings going over here on either side. If people need to go to these stations there, we probably... No, actually, let's keep it like that. And then here, if the train needs to move around, then we got this smaller system working in this area. And since here is more or less at the entrance, we could further add some details to this area too. And I think this is actually a good solution to the problem that we had here before. Could probably add some statues there. I think that is actually a nice solution to the problem that we had too much cement, too much concrete here at once. And this is just adding another area now to this one. Perfect. That's that. Another station we've built. So we got 3 stations now connecting. So they are being connected, by the way, right? I'm not just messing around with ornaments here. This is a system that is going to work in this location there. Here, we don't have one yet. And there's also a bus station. It might be just perfect to combine them, right? So let's just get rid of these trees there once more. And also of my tracks. And then we just basically add another one. We should really hurry up about this, by the way, because of course the trains are not working for the duration of the separation there. So as long as there is nothing here being connected, not working. There we have the connection once more. This one is now connecting then with the bus station here, just fine. And I think there's still some trees here missing that we still need to add once more. Perfect. Now, for the central station, we do need to think about a proper location. The problem is, it's a bit hard, really. I don't want to destroy any skyscrapers anymore, so they are pretty much fixed for me now, because they're, you know, in a very specific location, every skyscraper. It's all a big net of panorama effects that we have, right? And I can't just move these buildings around without a major problem that I might face with that. And then we have, of course, lots of very important monuments everywhere that I also don't want to remove. So finding the right spot for it is pretty difficult. I was originally going for this location here, but then again, we don't have enough space for the central station because it's pretty big. I think we're going with this area here. Why? We do have no monument close by. We do have a proper big location for it, and it's still rather central. It's with the main boulevard. It has a bus station next to it, and we also have major landmarks around it, right? So it's central. Definitely is, and it is surrounded by lots of buildings, which is another thing, and a nice river there. So let's go ahead and have our central station here. I will need to move around a few things though for that. First thing is this church here that we no longer really need. Let's get rid of the church first. And instead of that, I can now move some of my investors over. I don't want to delete any investors anymore, as I'm really hanging on to my influence there. We also have this university. That is not really needed as far as I know, because we got the research institute and there should be another university. Then here the library is, by the way, adding a major university area to everything. So let's get rid of the university. It's also not really fitting in there anymore. And with that, as we can see, all the needs are still fulfilled. Do we have some engineers close by? Because I really would like to see if this is still working. We only have investors really in this area. Then it's fine anyway, right? And then we can just happily move these people there. And let's just do this. And also this member club here that I need to move over there if I still want to keep it intact. So this block there basically now. And then we can just get rid of all of this here. And of course, of all these side stores. Oh yeah, this one. We still have so many buildings, really. It's hard. Oh, okay, so I've moved them throughout the city and hope that they are not too angry with me. Because after all, well, they're living in a new area now tomorrow. And of course, they still have to pay the same amount of rent. I'm not making any exceptions there. Lots of space now all in the middle of my megacity. And boy, the real estate value of this patch of grass there is insane, most likely. We could make a few bucks out of that one here. But of course, we're not doing that. We are making a train station, which probably is also making us a few bucks here and there. Let's go ahead. The central station. Now, it's a bit tricky to use it. It is actually two buildings in one. So this is its own building, right? So we are going to ignore this one for now, even though this is a central station there too, right? So something like that could be completely workable, but it's too small. I want to use the big one here. And this one is tricky. Let's just try and squeeze it in a proper way, right? There we have it. There it is, actually. I will need to move it though a bit further over there. Oh, actually, let's use the other one first. This one that I would like to have over here. And then we are using the other one. This one there it was, right? Yeah. And we need to clip it together like so. Right, so only now does it work. It is a clipping monument, more or less. And in the back, we can now add the train that is connecting then the exit points of this station here. That's looking fine. And here, of course, we have now a hotel. And those people would probably not be too happy if they live right next to a central station all of a sudden where trains pass by. So we are going to add some trees to that. So at least they don't think, or they can imagine that there is probably something else than that. Let's add a temperate grove. I think it just looks way more natural. All around the central station, really. Right, so this is kind of like a block or a bit of a border there that we can use between them. And then, well, all we really need to do is build the station. It's actually two parts that we've built with that. Right here in the center, looking fantastic. And as we can see, the travelers are being, well, generated already. It is also producing 20 attractiveness, which is not so bad. And it also acts as an oil production. This train has a very strange... Oh, it's just taking more passengers from the other side. Alright, we might need to rethink this one. All right, and what we can also see is, or what we've just seen with one of these trains here is, that they are now having the other stations in its vicinity or in its area of influence. There's 14 travelers now, probably going to the same station for now because they need to populate the closest stations first. So this one, there is now the travelers coming in, and there's the next one. And they are then producing letters out of this one that can be used in hotels. So this was kind of like pre-tourist season DLC, because with the tourist season we have hotels now, so this is rather obsolete. But the travelers, as we can see, are working now perfect. The trains continue on their tracks then, and here now the travelers are coming in, and this one is producing letters for the surrounding area. Oh yes, Princess Jing. You need to spoil the moment once more.
Without reflection, no
right, and I'm paying you everything you want. There you go. Perfect. With that, we really have a central station. We do have another bigger building available for that, but I think we rather stick with the central station like this. It has a nice entrance, so there's really no need to get any other ornaments around it, because I think it's just really fine as it is already. And as the travelers are being produced here, we'll just have to wait now and until every other station has been populated with those travelers there. Oh, we also have some rights here in my industry zone. But my people are perfectly happy. I mean, the farmers 15, 7, 7, 13, 20 for the investors. Alright, we do have some police stations, of course, that should be working the problem. But I want to speed it up because I really don't want to have any riots. And we still have a bit of space over here. So let's just get another police station in our industrial zone. Let's get this one cracking over there as well. This is going to help a bit, even though I can already see that police officers are working on it. But, of course, speed is paramount. There it goes. The trains are now separating, so they are now really going to all different kind of locations. And look at how many trains are coming out there. And they have these really cool looking wagons next to them, the passenger wagons that are now in the city as well. And they're basically now transporting people and oil. Well, those two things anyway. And those stations should be perfectly happy with what they got. It also makes the tracks more lively, of course, because where we only had oil before, we also have the passenger trains now. And, well, basically it means more tracks are being used, more oil trains are on the tracks. Just as it should be, really. Perfect. Central station. I love it already. Stay tuned.